assembly required, but listeners' discretion is advised. Sit back, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe or follow. Now, let's not keep you waiting. It's time to welcome your hosts of TNT Podcast, Tara and Tina.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome to TNT Podcast with your hosts. I'm Tara and the beautiful Tina here. We are, you can find us on Instagram at TNT Podcast Show, or we're on Twitter at T_N_podcast. So this is episode 6, and I can't believe it already. It doesn't take long. And we've got a really cool show for you tonight. I've actually been a fan of these folks from afar over here in Canada. But they have something really amazing called the Modern Street Hemi Shootout series. And I've only been able to go to a couple of events, but they do a whole lot of stuff. Wonderful people. And let's show a little clip to introduce them before we bring them in. Mr. Dan VanHorn, how you doing? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you just fine. I'm just so used to not talking because there's so many people chatting.
Oh, got you. Okay. Well, we're going to add some more chatters to the show. Here we've got Andy and Jen.
What up?
Hi. Hi, guys.
What's up?
And we've got Stell.
Hi, Stell.
Stell's joining us too. And where's Chris?
Chris is down there.
Can you get him in?
I hear him.
Okay. Hi, Chris.
Let me see.
Chris, how is everybody?
Great.
We're doing great.
Awesome.
Oh, wait.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Well, Dan, you're really kind of the brains behind this series. And I know there's a lot about it that I don't know. Who started this? Yeah, the brains. Are you the one that originally started this group? And how did it come about? Like, how long has it been going on, and when did you start it?
I think the first year that we officially ran an MSHS event was 2009 or 2010. Which one was it, Stell?
10.
9? 10? All right. So it kind of evolved from some stuff that was going on before that. LX Forums, one of the old forums for the LX platform, is probably where this really originated from. And most of us met at Englishtown with a series that was basically set up by High Horse Performance and Josh. And Stell ran the points. And before you knew it, what is wrong with these clowns over here?
What is happening?
Sorry, I'm fucked up already. Sorry.
And it was really official for like a couple years, and then now look what we got.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
but basically it started with LX Forums, and we did a bunch of track rentals, and we were sick of sharing track time with other people, so we wanted to do our own thing. We were sharing basically with a bunch of Corvettes and imports and all these other platforms, and we were the stepchild every time we went to the track. So we said, let's do our own thing, and this is where we ended up.
Yeah, I can relate to that. It's just sort of like test and tune here, where you just get a mix of so many people, and then when people are doing the private events, those are the best.
Hey Dan, how many cars did you have at your first one?
Yeah,
probably like 10.
10.
Is that right?
7.
Plus like 4. We had 23 cars down in Florida. That was the first event.
Yeah, it
that
was
the good old days.
Yeah, the very first event at Bradenton was, I think Stell's right, probably like 23, 24 cars.
Wow.
And of those 23 or 24 cars, 20 of them were from the Englishtown area. and we had like 4 people from Florida show up. And we drove 1,100 miles to race against the same people. Yeah, it was terrible.
Wow.
Those guys left the New England area in a snowstorm to drive down there
Yeah.
with like
wow.
wipers and what is it? Summer tires, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Right, Eric drove down. Summer tires, no wipers, and you had to wait till you got to like Maryland to when it warmed up to get out.
Now, where's Braden?
Bradenton's in Florida.
Florida. Okay, so
Yeah,
okay.
just not too far from Tampa.
That's southern U.S. Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up here in the Great White North.
It's a little warmer down there, Tara.
It's
Yeah.
fucking hot down there. Don't listen to them. It's not a little warmer. It's hot.
It's beautiful. The sunshine and palm trees.
I see pictures. It does look beautiful. I mean, I've been over the years, but haven't been for a long time. So you go to, what do you have to do to get involved with this group? So can you come in with a Ford?
No.
What?
Right.
You have to have a Hemi engine.
Huh?
No, the technical requirement is you must have a Gen 3 Hemi powered vehicle. Now, you can have a Ford with the Gen 3 Hemi in it. That is allowed, but it has to have a Gen 3 Hemi in it. And there are a handful of non-Mopar cars that have raced with us with retro swaps. So that's encouraged. There's not that many of them out there, but it's encouraged. We like it.
Right. And so how many have you got now compared to when you first started?
I mean, we probably hover around 100 racers at an event. I think last year at Florida, we were like 150, 160.
That's incredible.
We got a couple hundred. And that's kind of like our sweet spot. We don't really want to have 500 cars. It's too much. We're pretty small. Yeah, we're a pretty small community. And we're very focused on, basically just the Gen 3 Hemi. So by design, it kind of keeps it at that number. Every now and then I try to get more people to come out, and I'm doing all these marketing things and promotion things, and I just kind of be careful what I wish for, because it really works with the numbers that we have now.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Tina.
Stell, how many different racers have you had? You probably know that from your numbers.
Oh,
Just estimate.
Are we in the 1100s?
when we started, we assigned car numbers, right? Because it's hard to keep track of everybody. So I purposely started at 200. We're at 1,215 right now.
Wow.
So you figure that's 1,000
Yeah. 1,000. Yeah.
I do have some blank spots. So over the course of, this is our 13th season. So yeah, 1,000 racers.
Wow.
So Stell was he the first guy to help you out, Dan, to kind of come on board and get things?
Well, I mean, let's not give Stell too much credit. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Stell.
No, actually, in all reality, Stell was organizing points and numbers at Englishtown with the High Horse Performance Series. So he was already doing it before we developed the MSHS. So he was definitely a founding father, no doubt.
Oh, okay.
Kind of, Dan started it, but there was somebody else involved, and because of the forum, he asked me to kind of correct what he was doing, and unfortunately, he passed away the second race of the first season.
Yeah, Lou Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
So it pretty much fell on Dan's shoulders, and I said, Dan, do you need help? I'll help you.
Right. There you go.
Dan took it, and we just ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So Tara, you know your car number?
No.
What?
Is this a trick question?
No, I have it
Everybody
right
know
here.
your car number.
385.
You're
299.
741. 741 for Tara. Can you see that?
Yeah. 749.
No.
I'm 299, I think.
So, from my entry from before?
Mhm.
Is that where you
Yeah.
get it from?
And it's your car number for
Well, it's on our website.
Oh, and that's my number for life?
Mhm.
Yes.
Number for life. Don't ever ask me to change it.
Yeah.
That's
Which one is it?
awesome.
385, bitches.
I'm 386.
What?
Oh,
You got to
This
come
is
with
after
the to have something changed on the numbers. You know what I mean?
right.
know what I'm saying, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Or one of these.
So what does one have to do to, and how many do you have? Like you go to different states and everybody here, Stell, whereabouts are you located right now? Just so our listeners can kind of picture.
Florida, then we go to North Carolina.
No, your state where you're
from still.
right now.
I'm in the physical state of Connecticut, but I live in New York.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Look at the comment.
So Scott said one fast forwarder in the house, which is an LX forum name. So what was your name, Dan?
Fly by you.
Okay.
Dan had one of the coolest names.
And what about you, Stell?
Mine was Carmen.
Okay. Were you on there, Andy?
Mine was Andy at ECM PTS.
Oh. Imagine that.
Right?
Mhm. And it's 4-cylinder.
Yeah. And Chris dropped off, by the way. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I
He hasn't
was just
popped
gonna-
back on yet.
Because
I
I
haven't
just
popped
talk
back
to
on.
Chris.
That's because
Andy.
Chris is a dick.
Oh.
Yeah, I did notice.
Oh, we're
that
gonna go to that one.
Let me
We
talk to
talked
Chris
China.
real
You want me to
quick.
call him?
No. Let me talk to him.
he
They
dropped
sound-
off. We lost him. So, but maybe he'll come back on. He can just use the same link again. It's not a
All
big
right,
deal.
just rein us back in.
Just for a second, yeah.
Message.
So,
We
I
need
mean,
you.
how many of these events are there a year? And the name was gay.
I had to put it up there.
That's hilarious. Well, you did want me to change it, right, Stell? You wanted me to change it, but it was too late.
Well, if Dan knows why my name is what it is, but
Well, tell us.
oh no, I left Facebook. So when I came back, I couldn't get my original name, which was Stell Sav. So I'm like, oh no, is Tarantina gonna use my Facebook name? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I sure did.
but you could see that I changed it when you log in, right? So,
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so I mean, you guys, you go to different states, you go to the same place, is that right? Every year, you have it, like
yeah, it's pretty much Dan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Literally, I think everybody in the lower 48 has asked Dan to bring our so-called circus to their state.
Yes.
But unfortunately, MSHS works because we have a huge, racer platform on the East Coast, right? So we're an East Coast format racing event. So we don't really get out to the Midwest. However, Dan has this year opened up. Which state, Dan?
Kansas.
Oh,
There
Hemi
you
sees
go.
back.
MEC's back.
Right. So now this is the first year that Modern Street Hemi Shootout will go out to the Midwest.
Really?
Yeah.
We're excited.
Kansas.
Okay.
So
You see
that
that,
only
Dan?
Hi, Kate.
Kate wants to go to Bristol.
I see it.
Bristol.
I
Like
love your new
Tennessee?
vehicle, Kate.
Can you guys see the comments on the side?
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
The ones that
Right on.
Tina highlights, yeah, for sure, all of them.
I'm
Straight up pine to Dan.
So how many are there that you do? And where are they all?
We like to stick to like 25 a year.
Now I know there aren't that many.
Hell no.
I think that
And we
Can
don't
you
go to
imagine?
Canada.
I think Dan maxed it out. What 8 1 year, Dan?
8. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had 8 before.
That was a lot.
That was literally one race every month. So
Right.
some races were like, the next race was like 3 weeks after you just finished racing. So you
Right.
go in one state and then you go into the next.
And there's a lot of people that travel quite a distance, isn't it, to get together with everybody? And I mean, would we be the furthest? I guess Canada. I don't know.
Canadians?
Yeah.
Canada. We-
Except for
Dude,
Detroit.
your fucking country would never let this shit show over the border. Let me tell you. They would kick us out in like 20
Oh, I don't know. We've had some pretty big shit shows here the last.
I don't know if you've seen this shit show though.
Well, I'm coming in April. Yes, I'm lucky enough to come to Virginia, so I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, it's one thing to talk to everybody on Facebook, But I'm definitely looking forward to meeting everybody in person. You know, I've been like seriously a fan from afar, as crazy that sounds, but yeah.
You're gonna
So
go
I'm
home
really
and change
looking forward
person.
to that. Am I?
Yes.
Jen, how long have you been
Fireball.
racing?
All these races that we've been to so this will be our 13th season.
Wow.
Dan only missed one race and missed. That was it. So
That's a lot of travel and a lot of work.
Right? So this is Dan VanHorn. If there's no Dan, there's no MSHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
True that.
Dan deserves all the credit.
To Dan.
Dan.
Cheers.
Woo!
And for transparency and honesty, I've thought about quitting about 4,000 times. But
Yeah.
But in all reality,
it's stressful, right? Like
that's in one
we quit
season,
at the end
right,
of every
Dan?
year, don't we, Dan?
more often than
Don't we
once
quit
a year.
at the end of every year?
Yeah.
More often than once a year. But that being said, I know that if it wasn't for these events, I wouldn't see my friends. You know, I have a lot of really good friends and family that I refuse to let go of. So that's why we keep it going. And it's as strong as ever. And, you know, it's going to ebb and flow and it's going to do what it's going to do, but it's not going to be because I quit doing it, you know. So we'll just keep pushing on it. Right. So Tara can come across the border and come race with us.
Yes,
Hell
absolutely.
Yes. Hell
yeah,
yes.
I saw Scott's comment there to bring my car, and it's stuck in storage until, well, it's on the highest rack where it is in storage up on a hoist. So I bet you I'll be last to get out. I just hope it's not the beginning of May. I hope I can get it out next month, but we'll see.
Are you in like a storage farm up there?
I'm in a storage. I have it in a big storage shop. And there's a few other cars in there. It's heated, got security, and it's only 10 minutes. But, you know, it's not cheap every year. So we're in the midst of building a garage now. So I will have my own.
You know, we can hear you, right?
Hi, Gary. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get over there. So, yeah, it'll be good.
You're going to make it happen. We're pretty confident of that.
And hopefully Detroit, you know, Woodward, that's going to be a go as well. So with the border, and
my vacation was denied.
wasn't easy for us to get across. Was a real pain. So
cheers.
That's a whole other show. Woodward for sure.
Yeah, Woodward's a good one. And one of the reasons why we wanted to do the Woodward thing when we first started it was to get the Canadian racers to come out. And it definitely worked. You know, we had a lot of you guys and gals come out. And that's where I met you, right? Was at Milan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was awesome. Nelly, your hair looks fantastic, buddy.
It does look good.
Yeah, Gary's been down this road on this show. Yeah. So how?
By the way,
so somebody wants to get in. They got to buy a ticket, right? They have to pay to get into this event, and there's a schedule. And
yeah, so it's pretty simple, Tara. Basically, we're just like any other event. We try to push the information out there via social media, our schedule, the events, and where we're at, and the tracks do a little bit of it, word of mouth. But you can either prepay, or you can just show up and pay at the gate. You know, that's always the case. I like people to prepay because it kind of gives us a little bit of a head count for like parties and things of that nature and know what to expect. But in all reality, you can show up and race without a ticket, you know, until you get there.
Now, do you offer food at all your events?
Well, these two, what's wrong with these two clowns?
The fucking comments are also
Does Fireball count as food? It's no, then yes.
Oh
God.
Is that garage or a garage?
That's Jason's from Indiana, so he might have a different drawl.
A different dialect.
A drawl.
Says we say garage wrong, and you know Canadians say all kinds of stuff different.
But Tara, that's a great question though, because that is a misconception that people think they have to be part of a club, or you know you have to pay for a membership, or you have to prepay. Right. That's not the case. We're open to anybody that's got a Gen 3 Hemi. Obviously, we're very club-ish because we're a small community and how we started, but anybody can come out, and we want them to come out. So,
no, that's good. I'm just gonna.
Chris, how long have you been racing with the series? The whole time, or?
Oh, can I comment on Chris?
Yeah, I
Who's
guess so.
Chris?
I think he's sleeping and doesn't hear me, or he's
He's
glitched
frozen.
out. Chris, he's frozen again.
I'm sorry. I'm just processing now.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Dan's got it on a tight budget. I was on the Peloton to power up the cell phone. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean now I'm back in.
okay. Okay.
And then Stella's leaving.
Stell's
Yeah,
like,
no,
I'm
hey.
done.
Hey, these guys, listen, Dan, I think they all nailed it. Like this is an extended family. It started out, it's just a couple guys buying similar cars. And then we show up at the same track, and next thing we know, there's enough of us that just want to race this series and then race the actual platform. And then you got a few folks who are modifying the platform, and next thing you know, there's a whole genre of people, aftermarket, and now, of course, Dodge itself even supporting the effort. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
It's amazing what Dan has done to grow this series. So
It's all of us. It's a team effort.
right.
Did we lose somebody?
Andy and Jen, they were frozen for a minute, so
Listen, they had to get on the Peloton, power their shit up.
right.
That's right. Scott's right. So back in the day, when we weren't at the same track, we were basically keeping up with each other's progress at different tracks by putting up their slips on LX forums or texting each other. And Chris and a handful of other people would be chasing these 5.7 liter records and breaking the same record 2 and 3 times in the same day, going back and forth. Yeah, it was really pretty epic back then. And not that it's not great now. I obviously think it's a better organized and larger scale thing that we do now. But the grassroots part of what where we came from definitely is something I wouldn't change one bit. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of fun,
Can I just say one thing?
yes, for sure.
If anybody's interested in how, Dan mentioned grassroots, go back on LX forums, and there's posts from when the Mountain Street Hemi Shootout started, and that literally documents everything we did and how we communicated with each other, and you can go back to posts from 06, 07, and see how we raced back at Englishtown and NACO and everything else. So it's all out there for everybody to go see. But now we've reached another level because of where Dan is taking it.
So there's
Still,
a lot
that
of
would
years
take-
there.
Still, that would take somebody searching to actually try to search on their own instead of posting, hey, how did all this start?
Yeah.
And if you go, believe it or not, we have a website, and it's called hemirace.com.
Mhm.
And if you click on the about, we actually have a nice little page that spells out where we came from and who the founding
Oh, that's
fathers were.
fantastic. I don't think I ever saw that. But
Yeah, it's all captured on there, and I try to keep up the site up to date. But the originating, the founding data is still there. It's all in there. Just people don't really get past like the event information, but there's a bunch of other stuff in there. It's pretty good stuff.
And speaking of fun, you guys have quite a bit of it.
Yeah. Where's Andy and Jen in this picture? I see Andy in the bottom. They're both the corner pieces at the bottom.
Oh, Jen's in there. Yeah.
That was the first pyramid.
Now where's Chris? Chris has got to be in there.
Listen, I'm in the center. I'm a bottom. But there's Jen. There's Jen trying to pretend she's like a second layer. She should have been on the bottom layer.
Just for our listeners, just to let you know, this is the crew trying to do a pyramid. It looks like in the evening on the grass, and
that's a 4-level one. That's a good one.
That was epic. That was epic.
I mean,
somebody though I think got hurt. Was it Darla that sprained her ankle or something?
She sprained her face.
Oh, jeez.
As Gary says, that was right before it all went wrong.
Listen, we've never had 4 layers. Darla was trying to make that epic 4-layer, and then it all went wrong. I don't know why, but it did.
Somebody fell. But you guys, everybody's really it's not just about the racing, right? It's about the bond and the friendships and the connections that everybody has. And speaking of Darla, here's a nice one.
Yeah,
showing the love.
I love that picture.
Yeah, it's a really good picture.
Yeah,
Oh, there's Darla now talking.
There she is. There's Darla.
My
There's Hemi
collarbone
Kid.
hit the Yeti.
That was an emotional day.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And I think
a lot of
that's
history there.
one of the things that I really loved about everybody was just how much fun you guys had, how close you were. I mean, there's a couple of amazing support stories that I've heard now. The Eric Storms
That's funny.
story and stuff like that doesn't happen. I don't know, Dan, if you can. What happened when he got sick? Right?
Yeah, so and Stell and Chris are aware of this too. And it's Eric's a good example of when we've come together as a group, whenever someone's in need. And Eric had a heart attack and didn't have health insurance, and we basically heard the news at an event and we passed the hat. And I think we ended up raising, $10, $12, $15,000 or something like that pretty quick within a couple of days, and we're able to, kind of get Eric to in a place where you have to sweat so much about his medical bills. And
Right.
And as Tina knows, and as all of us know, we've done that at all different levels. From sicknesses to people needing jobs to unfortunate losing of loved ones. We're always there to, it's a family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You take care of your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, because I had talked to Darla, and there was help there for her when her mom passed away, and also for Scott as well. And it's incredible, And I think Eric was gonna, have to sell his car, his race car, and everything. And you just don't hear about stuff like that. And I mean, it brought a tear to my eye completely. It was just so hard.
Yeah, I mean, it probably happens more often than we realize. Obviously, I think that we are pretty unique, but I don't think we're so unique to think that we're the only ones that do it. But that spirit, is definitely what we're all about. And I wish Andy and Jen were on, but Andy was a big part of the, helping with the Eric situation, and Tina and I talked a lot, with Scott and with Tommy and everything. And it's definitely not one person that gets these things done. It takes a bunch of people. Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it is a community, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like I'm 20 years old again around everybody. I love it.
You're not 20?
Hell no.
That's the magic of MSHS right there. Everybody feels 20 years younger.
Honest to
Until the
God.
next morning, Chris.
Yeah, until the next morning,
And
exactly.
then we'll like
Yeah, roger that.
Yep. But Woodward, I have to say, was probably one of the best weekends of my entire life. Like, it was just, I was 20 years old all weekend. It was just phenomenal. Just so much fun. I can't wait to go back again. And it's the people for me too. Like, honestly, so you guys have so much fun. Got
Love
some,
it.
here's a good, and you're all about, what I love about it too is even the women love each other.
What?
Like, the women get along and everything. There's, they're competitive, but in a good way with each other. Like, you can rib each other, but you're still their buddy the next day. It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter who you are. You come and race, and people will help you if.
When you hit those lights, Tara, all the friendship goes away, right? That's what we're all about.
So Andy's computer is restarting, the guys, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Speaking
Speaking of lights, when I came to one of your events for the first time, it was a different light for me, and it really messed me up. I have to say, it's like, I had no time. Like, it was. I think are we on a sportsman here?
So I'll tell you a little story about that tree. Not a little story, but the reasoning behind it is we are extremely grassroots, and we want to have fun, and we want everyone that comes out to have fun as well. So if you know anything about drag racing, you know that if anyone has any type of experience on a typical sportsman tree, they are going to dominate. They're going to embarrass a casual racer or a beginner racer. Just because they're just used to doing it, right? They can anticipate the light, that they have the rhythm, all those things. But so we decided early on that we want people to have fun as much as we want them to be competitive. And bringing in the pro tree has definitely been a game changer for us. We got rid of all the red lights. So for rookies that were trying to anticipate that third amber, they
Didn't
were doing
happen.
a lot of red lighting. Right,
Yeah.
they're doing a lot of red lighting, right?
Yeah.
And when we brought the Pro Tree in, it got rid of red lights, and it put basically everybody in the same on this, the same starting point, and it was more about just having a good time. I'm so glad we did that. Granted, these faster classes that we've gotten to, Pro Tree is more appropriate, but even using it in the bracket and the slower classes, I think has been a total win and relatively unique to us. I don't think there's a lot of other series out there that do that. So I'm definitely proud that we've stuck to that.
Dan, what was the fastest time back when you guys started? What was the goal fastest time?
Yeah.
11s.
11.
If you ran 11s, you were fast. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
When you started back in 06, that I think if you hit low 12s, that was fast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And what are we doing now, Dan? What are you running now?
Yeah, what are you running now, Dan? So Dan's got his own car.
That's top secret. We don't really talk about what the car runs
Oh,
these
that's
days.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
But
let's just say what the fastest group is now. They're in the 7s now, right?
Well, we got a
You've
couple
got different
guys
classes, right? Maybe go over with the classes.
All right, so we'll break it down. Which is it's good to kind of explain a little bit for those that may be checking in for the first time. But we have 8 like standard classes that start at the fastest class is Outlaw, which is just straight heads up, 8th mile. Those guys are running in the mid 4s in the 8th, which equates to, believe it or not, to 699, 696. These guys are running definitely low 7s. If you were to translate that to quarter mile times. Then we have an 850 class, which is heads up racing. First to the finish line wins. You just can't go quicker than 850. So just saying that 850 is quick, right? So that's not even our quickest class. That's our probably our 3rd quickest class. We have a heavyweight class, which is heads up racing, which is predominantly Hellcats, and they're running low 8s, like 820s, 830s. Then when we break it down by index for all the other classes, we have a 950 index, 10.0 index, 1050, 1150, 1250, and then our bracket class. And then actually, before I don't want to forget, we also have a rookie class. So every event we have a
That's
class.
what I went in the first one.
Yeah, and it's great. It's
great.
Great. People love it. We keep it's eight free entries at every event. You got to be a first timer with the series and a low experience racer. And it seems like a majority of the people that do jump into that rookie class, they come back. So that's kind of like what it's all about, is to show them what we're about, give them a little feeler, and and we just reel them right in, right? And they come back, and before you know it, they're running outlaw class. So it's amazing. It's definitely yeah. But the format's pretty simple. It is a little confusing for people that don't quite follow our style, but it's the same every time we do it. You pay an entry fee, you get 2 classes, bracket and any other class, and whatever your ET or car runs, one of those classes is going to fit you, and it's pretty straightforward.
And tell them about King of the Hill.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, all the class winners will now line up against each other in a bracket style or handicap style race, and the last man standing wins the King of the Hill prize. So that's basically like an event grand champion. So it's not about speed in that particular setup. It's about who can run their predicted number.
Is this an example of a King of the Hill?
That is. That would be it. That's
Jimmy. Example.
That's Jimmy Kasubius. True Street Performance. Yeah,
we don't bring a crown, etc. But that's
fun though. It's fun to do.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
more about bragging rights when it comes to King of the Hill, right? It means you're not a person out on the premises.
I think we do need to bring the crown and then the cape back for sure.
I have no problem with that.
That was NMCA.
We'll just make sure Gary Rudy, go ahead and source that for us, Gary. I know you're listening.
Yeah,
Find me a crown and a cape. Make it happen, kid.
Now, one thing I've seen. What's with this bear?
What, Hemi bear?
What's with Hemi bear? So it's Hemi bear.
bear.
That's his name. Okay. Look at Andy.
Andy looks like he's 12 years old.
I've seen so many
there.
pictures of so anybody listening, it's a panda head, like a costume, right? Like on
it's a bear head.
Is that like the mascot?
So that's That's our good boy, Concussion. We'll use his screen name from the LX Forums days. His screen name was Concussion, Johnny Burleson. And Johnny Burleson is the guy that developed our website, our logo, our slogans. He's just a big time enthusiast that has been part of the series, basically since the beginning. And he helped us develop the "Shut Up and Line Up" saying. All the hashtags I used came from him. All the logos, the HemiRace.com logo, that square logo you see, like that was all him. But he's Hemi Bear, and I'll give him. Yeah, so I'll give him credit for developing all the logos and the slogans and the format and the website, but the Hemi Bear was me. So I'll take credit for naming him Hemi Bear, and that's where it ended up. But
yeah.
So Gary wants to know if you have to reuse the crown and the cape every race.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, no, it should be passed on. You should be as the king of the hill to show up to the next event to pass it on to the next king.
Oh, there you go, Gary.
That's how you should do it. Yeah, and there you go, Rick, GFY. I'll take credit for that. I developed that.
Oh boy. Now last year, yeah, you had somebody pretty amazing come to an event. And
yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Leah.
Absolutely. Oh. Leah. Now
Leah's been to a couple events now, and yeah, she's definitely a big supporter of ours. She's a busy lady, but she definitely follows along and is all about grassroots racing.
Well, I was going to show one of your promo clips, and it actually it shows Leah. And then when we come back, I just wanted to ask how that had come about.
Sure. That gets your juices flowing, doesn't it?
You know what? That is so cool, Dan.
That badass or what?
That is
Let's
so
go.
cool.
That was bad.
So, for those of you that don't know Leah or who we're talking about, she is a superstar. She's a top fuel superstar in the NHRA, and that was just incredible. That, like, how did that come about that she was able to come to that event?
All right, so there's a couple different connections with Leah. So Leah obviously is sponsored by Dodge,
Right.
So she's connected to the platform and to the market already, and she has done some different connections with with grassroots stuff in the past and with other events besides us. But when I was getting my car built by Gearhead Fabrications and his team, Mario Abascal and his team down in Florida, they were working with Leah for some testing with some Demon stuff. And Leah had already been doing some testing with the actual Demon before it was released to market. So she was already embedded. She was embedded, with that side of it. And Joel Applegate had kind of connected us on that side as well. But Mario had known her, from the dealings with this record-breaking carbon fiber Demon that they had done some testing with on her. And he had just basically mentioned one day, hey, do you want to see if Leah wants to come out to an event? He connected us. We started chatting, and she was all about it. And it was just a matter of figuring a date that worked. She's a busy lady. And,
Yes, for sure.
Right. And our events are on particular weekends, and obviously her job is on weekends too, right? So, but we were fortunate enough where she was able to come out somewhat last notice, and we convinced her to drive my car. So she raced my car at the event.
That's right.
And so that was kind of cool. And then that kind of started our relationship where we realized that she's actually, like a regular person and is all about hanging out. And so we had chatted, have chatted periodically, through the past couple of years. And she had worked with Diablo Sport as well. So last year at this Orlando event, she had agreed to come out and hang out with their event. And we obviously said, well, we're going to run the next day, so you got to join up with us. And it was a no-brainer. And that's when we all found out about the whole Tony Stewart connection. And Tony Stewart had come out to the event and hung out. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and I saw her. We went to Arizona and hung out a little bit and saw her. And her schedule is so busy with a brand new team. I think she wanted to come out to Orlando again this year. And she's actually not racing that weekend, but she just can't commit to it.
Yeah.
It's just
I wondered if you would have an opportunity to have her out again.
I'm not saying
it works out, right? Kind of thing.
I'm not saying no, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like one of those things, hey, I'm available. But she's all about it. She's all about it.
Totally. Yeah. I think I've got a picture of her and Andy.
That was a VMP as well. Hey, look at that guy.
And then with the girls. Yeah, that's I would have been in tears. That's just incredible. Like, that you had an opportunity. And you guys like to have a lot of fun, right, Dan?
That's classic.
That's that guy.
Who is that guy?
Just the stuff you guys,
That's before
right.
everybody got golf carts and this electric
Right.
vehicle and that electric vehicle.
Now it's smart cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
We are always looking for ways to have a good time, and that's the thing about and obviously we want to pat ourselves on the back and we want to talk about us in general, but that's racing. And really, if you go to any other racing event or drag strip, there is a lot of that going on. And obviously I think
people.
that it's all about the people. I mean, it's a totally different thing, and I have fallen in love with it, and definitely Chris and Stell have nurtured that. Every now and then, I prefer going to other people's events because I can enjoy it as like just a spectator or as a participant. So we do that every now and then, and it like kind of just re-energizes me about how much I enjoy it. So I have to kind of like remember.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
I enjoy other people's events.
You're so tied up with running the whole event, right? Like you don't get much of an opportunity.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but we do it though. It's still fun. Like I race my car. Like Chris helped me out a lot last year. Chris drove my car a lot last year, which kind of helped me, be able to not be as busy. And I still got to see my car go down the track. And Stell helps out, so he takes a little bit of pressure. And if it wasn't, and I wish Andy was still in here, but if it wasn't for Andy,
he's trying. His computer is it just completely rebooted. So they're trying
Lisa.
to get it.
Hey, Lisa.
They're on the Peloton.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah. So in all honesty, and I think everybody knows, Andy and Jen and
there's our buddy Chris. Chris.
And Jen and Andy are really what's keeping it alive the past couple of years. Like they are just such huge helps. They he comes out, Andy in particular, and he just works and works and works, and it's so much work and it's so exhausting, and he's just there. So it makes me being able to do these other things just a lot more realistic. So I can't thank him enough.
Don't you worry, David Bradshaw.
It's a mystical purple blue drink.
And Andy's got his own.
Andy's the backbone, and Jen is just the life of the party, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
So, Dan, talk a little bit about the sponsors.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. So we are a very small community, and we would not be able to support much of a purse if it was put together like a typical event, where you would rely on entries to pay for the purse and everything. So we knew that early on that we just don't have enough cars to get our own event, right? Tracks have to make money too. So when they ask you how many cars are coming out and you tell them 100, that may sound like a decent number. But for them, that's not really that many cars. They're used to dealing with 2, 3, 4, 500 cars at $40 a clip. Well, basically we have worked out deals with the tracks that we run out. Like, listen, we're willing to pay a premium. So we have our own date. We don't have to guarantee a number of cars, but they know that they're basically getting more than double, if not double, a typical entry fee. And in return, we get the place to ourselves. We offer the racers 2 classes, so it kind of offsets the fact that they're paying more. And that's kind of how we're able to run at these premium tracks, like VMP is a premium track, world class, NHRA track. All these tracks that we run at, for the most part, are considered top tier, upper echelon. But that doesn't leave any room for the purse, right? So we can't pay any prizes out if we're charging a premium and it's all going to the track. So we are super fortunate that we have some really good sponsors. And Andy is a huge supporter of the series. He's all in every year as a sponsor, not only as a helper, but financially as well.
Right.
And the title sponsors are big. I mean, it's cash, right? They're giving me like cash to fund our expenses and to fund like the website and the social media stuff and all the video that you just saw
right now. We're not talking about cash right now. So
yeah,
we're not talking about cash.
We're not talking about cash. Dan did not mention that on the web.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Get your PR guy keeping an eye on you there.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for sponsor support, we would not be able to have the prizes and the purse that we have. And it's for the head count that we have, it is over the top. It really is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you get a lot of the same sponsors helping you out every year. Usually, type of thing.
Yeah, so we've mentioned High Horse Performance a bunch. Josh has been there since day one.
Yes, I haven't met Josh.
Yeah, Josh is world class, and he stepped up.
See that trophy?
What are you saying, Stell? Yeah,
see
that one
right there.
That one.
The first huge trophy HHP issued.
There you go.
You won it.
HHP
fixed. It was fixed.
For sure.
Right. So yeah, if you don't mind, let me give a shout out to a few of them.
Absolutely. No, definitely give a shout out. Yeah. We're actually going to be doing a series on manufacturers, tuners, and shops.
Yeah, and that's great, and they definitely need your support, and I appreciate you doing that. So obviously, High Horse Performance is big. Drive Shaft Shop has been there basically since day one. Pure Drivetrain Solutions is relatively new to us, but they jumped in with both feet as presenting sponsors. All of our class sponsors, and I'll mention the ones that off the top of my head, but the newest one, which I'm pretty proud of, just from pure persistence on my part, but we finally got Dodge to jump in as a sponsor. But
wow,
so Dodge is sponsoring this year. That's pretty big.
For real? That's amazing, Dan. That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's just pure persistence, right? Just nonstop. Hey, are you guys interested? Hey, you guys interested?
Yeah.
And they are interested, but it's a little bit of a machine trying to get something that large to think about something as small of us, right? So they've always kind of participated, like
they keep an eye on these Hellcats and what they're all about, and what they're
doing.
Aware. They've got to keep
They see everything.
Yeah,
they see everything. They have some people that are aware of this show as well. You'd be shocked. But so Dodge getting in was big, and we got Simple Speed and Performance, which is a grassroots shop. Scott from American Muscle Performance is a sponsor. We can go on and on and on. Leg Maker is the Orlando sponsor.
Absolutely, Chris.
Craig from T-Tech is a big sponsor, huge supporter.
And some of these people that you're mentioning also race in the series. So,
yes, absolutely. So. They enjoy the racing as much as we do, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's amazing, and really, I mean, they help build the series and keep things rolling, and it's support, right? Like it's. I was trying to think too. When does your series actually end? Like I know for us over here, we have to close up shop a lot earlier, but. Do you go into the fall? Like, would you go into November, right?
To circle it back to where we all began, right? So when we were talking about how the series started, we started about trying to chase records, right? So Chris would go to Cecil or MIR, in February or November and December, just chasing that great air. And when July and August were around, Chris would have his car parked, right? So that was where we all started, was let's chase these tracks in this time of year where the air is fantastic and these cars are going to fly. Absolutely. So we do. We start early. We've started as early as middle of February, and we run as late as
and we run as late as
November. this year and the past few years, we've started in March and ended in October, which is a little less risk because obviously when you start in February and then in November, those time frames are a little sketch, and it's hard for people to travel.
For some people, yeah, exactly. And if you are driving it, then driving your car, then the weather's not great.
Yeah, so Scott is asking about us texting each other. So basically, what Scott's referring to is we'd be at the track and at different parts of the country saying, "Hey, I just ran this," and send our time, and then 5 minutes later, you get a text back about what they ran, and it was a long distance competition, right? A friendly competition about and we always were like, man, it'd be nice if we can get together on the same track at the same day and see what we really ran. In the same conditions,
and hang out, be together, and
exactly. We were friends on the forums way before we met and raced against each other, and thankfully we decided to make it work, and we did.
Can I add to that?
Yes, absolutely, Stell.
All right. So what Dan is referring to is, this way. So you see Chris.
I see Chris.
Chris and Dan haven't. They were texting each other because Chris, Dan, Scott, and there were maybe call it a handful of other people around the country that were kind of leading the charge on this Gen 3 Hemi, performance thing. So they all wanted to know what everybody else was doing. So they were all talking amongst each other. Every time they went to the track, they were texting each other, finding out what they did. But literally, it was that Chris, Dan, and a couple of guys down south and a couple out west that, really always shot for the record, and so that's why they always were talking. And if you look at go look at our past records, Dan was always at the top of the ladder when it came to the 6.1 stuff. Chris was always at the top of the ladder when it came to the 5.7 stuff. So,
interesting.
Now, you understand why Chris is here with Dan, right? So you got two guys that are, no holds bar. I'm gonna, crush everybody else, and I'm here to do it. So that's why you have these two guys here. So.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the funny thing is Stell's actually a very gracious individual, right? He's obviously trying to pat us on the back, and we appreciate that. And Stell's good about doing stuff like that. But Stell is racing the same 2005 Magnum.
Holy shit! Here we go.
Yeah,
333,000.
How many miles on that thing, Stell?
Hey, those things will go forever.
333,300.
Okay,
but that's awesome.
That's amazing. I had 360 on my 300.
Driver, show me somebody that drives a 500 horsepower car through a 1 foot blizzard.
They'll keep going. Like I had over 360,000 kilometers on my 05.
Kilometers? That's like 20 miles.
Yeah. So what is what is that in American? I'm not sure.
It's like 150,000 miles. 150,000. It's still pretty impressive.
In 05, it was great. It was a tank. It was
cars. The Magnum was unique in that if you loved it, you loved it. And I swore that that car would turn to dust before I got rid of it. So
no, they're great cars. I got rid of mine.
Tara, what do we got? 5 minutes left. This runs for an hour.
Yeah. We've only got it. Yeah.
So let me throw a couple things out there because I don't want to run out of time before I say.
Yeah, no, for sure. Go ahead.
Obviously this is about friends and family, and I appreciate you guys capturing, a couple of my brothers and sisters on this. Hearing some of the comments from my other brothers and sisters on here is amazing. So this year we're definitely trying to focus on some of the people that I think are important to what we're about. So we're putting out these driver profiles periodically. So Patrick Rawl writes for a bunch of different avenues, and he's and I basically Yeah, and I hired him to basically write for us as well, right? So you'll see me post up articles, and it doesn't have his name on it, but it's basically he's penning it, and I'm posting it through my website and through our social media. So we're capturing all these different people. We're gonna do about 20 to 25 profiles this year. So just make sure that everyone kind of like reads over those things and just kind of gives them a little bit of little homage on that, because if it wasn't for those like people that are in the background running their cars and have been there since day one, 12, 13 years, or maybe even those that came in with the Hellcat that are all in since 2015 that kind of revitalized the whole series. I just wanted to kind of give a little bit back to them. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's about the people. And like I said, every year, maybe not every year, but a lot of times I think about, man, I've had enough of all this complaining and about this, that, and the other. But I remind myself, if it wasn't for these events, like, I wouldn't see, all these friends of mine, so, and family. So we're going to keep it alive and keep going. And people like Chris, who takes basically a whole entire year off to build my car. If it wasn't for this series, like, that wouldn't happen, so that's a big thing.
Say that about building your car.
Yeah, Chris built my car. He took a whole year off it and rebuilt my car.
That's awesome.
And now I'm trying to build my car. So hopefully this year we'll see mine. Yeah.
Yes.
And Orlando's in 2 weeks, everybody. Try to make it.
I know.
Right,
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I won't be there, but I'll be in Virginia. Is everybody there going to Virginia? I get
probably.
Oh, hell yeah.
Virginia's a great track. So between Orlando and Virginia, we're gonna have a great start to the year. And then obviously after Virginia, we go to my home track, Rockingham. So I'm stoked about that. And those first three events are obviously badass events. So I'm pretty excited about this season getting fired off.
I'll just be like a spectator for this one, but I don't care. I just want to come and say hi to everybody and
well, you might
with Tina.
You might
sure.
Well, you might be shocked that you might be driving a car. Just
oh geez.
Don't be surprised.
Hey, I'm all in for that. Absolutely. Yeah, if I could get mine out and down there, I definitely would. But she's stuck.
Well, I know Tina's going to race because Tina's car is badass and she's fast.
I know.
Yeah.
First one. Like I just hang on to that. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be in Virginia. I will not be in Orlando. Well, with the Durango, that is.
So Tina, this is your fastest car, right? The Durango is the fastest thing that you've had.
966.
Respectable.
And it was the first one, right?
I know, forever. They can never take that away.
You can never take that away. Like, to me, like, I was blasting it to everybody. I was just so pumped because it's a big deal when you're in drag racing.
Yep.
It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
He did.
Yes.
He did what I asked.
I don't know. I think it's all because of Tina.
And that's why.
We heard it here. He did what you asked.
Yeah.
5,700 pounds. He did what I asked. I said,
it is incredible. Yeah, so. What they can do. But that's why we also want to have some tuners on, the shops on, the manufacturers, because they are what make the drag racers push themselves out there on the track, and they are vital to a drag racer. So
the tuning is huge. And whenever
my nephew's actually wanting to get into it, so I'm really stoked about that. He's only 15 and he's really shown an interest. So
oh boy, I'm gonna save up the money.
Yeah, I know.
Busy.
I know.
So we're gonna have more. We're gonna have more of the MSHS people on the show, between the women that are racing, some of the shops, some of the tuners, some of the sponsors, some of the manufacturers.
Definitely.
So it'll be great.
Yeah. We're gonna have a whole women in drag racing series.
Track owners, yes. Dan.
You got to get them on so they can talk about their tracks.
Right.
No, this is and I just want to thank you.
That's
guys
a good idea, though. I never thought of that.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a behind the scenes look at like how a track operates. Go up in the tower, do the whole thing. I think that's
a whole show right there, Dan. Like absolutely. Just to see what goes on.
We'll try to find a guy that could do that.
Yeah, people would have questions, definitely. And who knows? I think we talked about possibly going live for a little bit, maybe when we're down in Virginia. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, but I just want to make sure that you two know that obviously us and the Modern Hemi Shootout enjoy this show, and I hope you guys keep doing it. I know it's a lot of work and you're sacrificing a lot of your time, but it's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool just to be able to chat.
it's been fun. Yeah, it's been a real learning, curve for us. But the main thing was to have fun, and for me, especially to stay connected to this whole world. Tina's been blessed; she's met you guys many, many times. I haven't had an opportunity, but yeah, we're having some fun. Hey, Tina, we're learning a lot, and
yeah, having fun.
And
thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. It's sorry that Andy and Jen, because Andy could have plugged.
Find out what happened.
Oh, there's a backstory there. We'll have to publish that in the next podcast.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
We appreciate you. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Stell. Appreciate your support.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hey, Chris.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Well, we'll just start removing everybody, Tina.
And there we are.
Okay. Well, next week, or not next week, sorry, but the 24th of March, we are back. We have a really awesome guest. Paul Churchill is coming on to talk about alcohol. He's an author, and he's done some TED Talks, and just a really cool guy. So the 24th, you can tune in and see us then. So until then,
bye.
I guess we'll see you later. Good night, all.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.